First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashmi Awashai Bashmi Rakak Kwadash. And double honors to the apostles of the great millstone, and as well as giving the salutations thereof towards the Akim that's forwarding this truth worldwide. And shalom to the brothers and the sisters too that are supporting what we say, what we do, and most importantly, taking heed to these lessons. It's your brother Laban coming at you with another video. And in this video, what I want to be going over is just showing you brothers how to get into Akim and setting up an account, which Akim, of course, is a website formulated by one of the Akim. All right. And brothers have experienced the channels being suspended on YouTube because of their videos. And, you know, this is a very good outlet for us to go on to, so that if our videos do get clipped from YouTube, this is our outlet right here. Just to add as well, one of my channels have been suspended for 2 weeks, so I won't be able to make no videos on my old channel called GMS End of the World. And what I'll do is I'll put the link in the description box, and you can see my channel on here on Akim.com. That's where you can also find me at too. And what I'll do is I'll be putting videos on my other channel that I have called The Gospel of the Kingdom for the Israelites. Let me see if I'm in there already. I gotta be in there already. Let's press this. Yeah, I'm in it already. So yeah, you can see me through here. Gospel of the Kingdom for Israelites. This is where I'll be uploading my videos at over here as well, just to put that out there. So yeah, with that, back to the original setting of the video, and we can, if possible, you know, make this our only outlet, because it's gonna get to the point where YouTube is not gonna be tolerant with any kind of content which goes totally against narrative anymore. You know, as we're coming to a time of complete censorship of the internet, and time all of these Silicon Valley global corporations, which the government is in tandem with all of these corporations that we rely on, YouTube being one of them. Like I said, they're not going to be tolerant of our content anymore. So basically, it's going to get to the point when you do see us on the street, that's possibly the only way you're going to see us is on the streets, never on YouTube anymore, which YouTube did a whole lot of work for us, man. So, I mean, we don't really need YouTube like we think we do, you know, but the word has already gotten out to the point where you got people like Ronald, Dalton that has to come on there and sway the minds of many to believe in this old lie going all the way back to like the 60s and the 70s about how the Caucasians are the people of Japhet, which that can be further away from the truth, and it doesn't make sense, which I'll go into later on. But anyway, again, going back over here and showing you brothers and how to set up an account on the Akim. All you got to do is go to register and put all of your details here. Tap I'm not a robot, and they'll have you play the game, which you brothers probably know about this. When you press this, they'll have you play a particular game. How many sidewalks do you see? Click them, etc., etc. So once you get done with doing that, then you press create an account. And when you press create an account, all of your details will be saved and all of that. And then you go and sign in. It really depends on what your computer is, because everyone's, I believe every brother's computer works differently. But my computer saves all my details for me. So you go to sign in and you sign in those same details, and then you're in your account, you know, straight like that. It's just as simple. Now, if you lose an account, all you got to do is go to recovery, type in your username, your email to the best of your ability, and Lord willing, it will recover your account for you on the Akim, you know. So this is where we really got to go with it, because YouTube is getting strict again. And if not, they're getting more stricter, because, again, the time is going to come where the internet is going to be censored. And this word ain't going to be going out freely as it used to. as we're coming to the timing of a famine. Indeed, yes, indeed, but also a famine of hearing the words of the Lord. Okay? And being that this Israelite thing is blown out of proportion, you got tokens that are out here to do their job, and their job is to obviously do what they're paid for. Their job is to obviously do what they're paid for. And that's to sway the minds of our people that are now coming into the believing of that of the true, which is what they are indeed, the Israelites. And teach this lie that basically those Amalekites in Israel are the people of Japheth, which that can be further from the truth. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down how they cannot be Japheth, because it doesn't make any sense, as I'm going to now explain. Because for one, Japheth is one of the three sons of Noah, as well as Shem and Ham. And when you check the genealogy of Japheth, there's no records of the Israelites coming from that lineage whatsoever. So how can you call yourself? And I'm really aiming at these JEWs because they call themselves Ashkenazi JEWs, which Ashkenazi is one of the sons of Japheth, which again doesn't make any sense, because as I've said, Japheth had his sons, and none of his sons were mentioned in the lineage of Japheth by the name of Judah. So how can you call yourself Ashkenazi JEW? It doesn't make that don't even add up at all. It doesn't make any sense. And how can the so-called white people be Japheth? And I know why they posed this lie out there. They reinvigorated this old ass lie going all the way back to the 70s, because basically they've already brainwashed us to believe that the darker skinned people live in an area closer to the equator. This goes into this evolution garbage. The darker you are, the closer you are that you originate from, which is from the equator. The lighter you are, the less likely you're going to live in cold. The less likely you're going to be near the equator. That means you're going to be in colder climates and all of this nonsense, which is what we've been taught in these school systems. The whole notion of, if you're so-called black African, originally you come from the sub-Saharan region, that's where you originally come from. And if you're of lighter skin complexion, you're lesser away from the equator, therefore living in colder areas. And that don't even make sense, because if you look at the polar bear, a polar bear has actually melanin in it. And why does a polar bear need melanin? I mean, if a polar bear is living in colder climates where there's less sun, why does it need melanin? That's something you should ask yourself, right? But that's another video, another lesson for another time. Going back to the point now, they can easily use that lie, and that lie can be substantial to many, because it's like, well, wait a minute, yeah, that's what we were taught. They're Europeans originating from Europe, but that's not the truth. The whites came from the eastern side of the world, an area which is in Jordan, and it is called Petra. All right. The whites also originated in the Eastern world as well. Whether they call themselves Germans, whether they call themselves French, whether they call themselves Italians, whether they call themselves JEWs, they all originate back to a place, or come from. Really, let me be correct. They come from the lineage of Isaac. And then as a race, they went to Petra. They dwelled in Petra, and that's where they originally were known to dwell. That was their original dwelling place after they came out of the lineage of Isaac. Now, if you go to Petra today, you'll see an archaeological construct, a build that looks no different than the modern day Roman style buildings that you see when you go. Let's just say you're in New York. Where you gonna go? You're gonna go to where? Wall Street. And when you look at the stocks exchange building construct, again, it looks no different from the building that which was built in Petra. All right. Which the building that you see is the original building construct from Petra, which was built thousands of years ago. And they've kept that same building signature, as every nation does. Every nation has their own building signature, just like how everybody has their own writing signature. All right. So if you look at the building constructs shows you itself who they really are. And they're not Japhites. All right. The people of Japhet, excuse me. I was going to say the people of Japhites. The people of Japhet are the people of the south, are the people that are dwelling in the South Pacific Ocean. The people of Hawaii, the people of Fiji Island, those kind of folks, leading all the way up to Thailand. Those are the people of Japhet. Okay. Now, me saying that, I can do a lesson on that sometime later if the Spirit is on me to do it. But realistically speaking, but in the reality, getting back to the point, the so-called whites do not originate from Japhet. That's an old 1960s, 70s lie that they're pulling out of the crates, and they got this guy Ronald Dalton to publish this old lie, which again, it doesn't add up, as I've already explained, because you can't be an Ashkenazi JEW, because really what they're saying is they're Japhetic JEWs. That doesn't make sense. That means what you're saying is you're made out of two nationalities. Last time I checked, in historical books and as well as the Bible tells us that your nationality is determined by your father, and the term father means your origin. All right, you can't originate from two men. When last did two men produce children, man? All right, when last some bullshit like that happened? It never happened, and it's never gonna happen. No matter how much science Esau digs up and finds ways to have it to where men can know, it's never happened before, and it's not gonna happen naturally. All right. So now you know and understand it doesn't make any sense. And plus, there's no lineage among the Japhites showing that they produced the chosen people who we call them today, the Israelites, which is what we are. As a matter of fact, as we know, that they came out of Shem. So there you go. So now what I want to do is just to get on this guy now, because this dude, basically what he is, he's a token. He's being used because they're giving him a lot of promotion, man. You got this guy, he's got 28,000 plus subscribers, and you got these individuals, these jakes that have large subscribers that are promoting this guy like he's the big shot and he's the one that's got the entire truth, when in fact he learned all of what he knows probably from us. Okay, and YouTube is blowing this guy up, including behind all of this, to sway those that are coming into the belief system of this truth, knowing that they're Israelites. All right, that's why this reads, man, among my people are found wicked men, and they lay in wait, and he that set of snares, they set up a trap and they catch men. Yeah, and that's the thing with our people. Our people, what makes them even more wicked is the fact that these dudes are pushing other guys that are set up to lie to our people, as it is written in the book of John 8 and verse 44, ye are your father the devil, and the lust of your fathers ye will do, and he was a murderer from the beginning, and the bold not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speak of a lie, he speak of his own, and for he is a liar and the father of it. And that's our people that sell out to these devils. Who am I really talking about? Because who really controls the narrative? Who can pay people off to do a bidding for them? Them JEWs, man, them small hatters, them 1948ers. So these Negroes are doing the bidding of their father, the devil, man. That's who they really support. And that's what makes our people hella wicked. As it is written, for my people have become more wicked than the wicked. Because here it is, this guy knows the truth, probably, because he's seen videos. But I'm thinking maybe, man, this is just my personal thing. He took the bag, and now, and so that he can perpetuate this lie, this old ass lie, that the Caucasians are the people of Japhet, when in fact they're the Edomites that the Bible speaks about. And as I've showed you, the building constructs of where they come from, Petra, is still being seen today. Okay, so there you go, man. Because if this guy was really speaking the truth, do you really think and believe that they would push this guy? No, they wouldn't. They would suppress this man's information, just like how they do to us, man. The more truth you speak on YouTube is the more they're going to suppress your content. Because who owns and controls YouTube? Well, actually, Google and YouTube is one and the same. And Google is owned by a JEW at that. So you really think, sincerity, they're going to allow a guy to blow up that's teaching our people the truth? As a matter of fact, them JEWs do not under any circumstances, because it's bad business for our people to wake up to this truth. Do you really think they're going to purposely put a guy up there that's of our nation to tell us the complete truth and to blow him up? Hell no. They're going to suppress the hell out of that Negro. All right. And that's what they're doing to us. The more truth you speak on these social media outlets that they control, is the more they're going to suppress your content. And they might even clip your whole entire channel off. And this is why we got to go to other sites that brothers have formulated called Akim and sign on into these outlets instead. All right. Because eventually the time is going to come, as we've said this time and time again, that these elites, the powers that be, what they're going to find themselves doing is they're going to find themselves having to censor the internet in totality. And you won't have no freedoms to even express yourself or to say anything at all. It's getting to that point. All right. So, yeah, man. So let's read this. Amos 5 and verse 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Exactly. So how much more now in the world that we're living in, that our people are so influenced by lies and the deception of this world? Pretty much, I found out that Kyron Irving fell back. He fell back, man. He got weak. You know, I guess they straightened him out. I don't know what's going on with Kanye West, but these two celebrities, but originally Kanye West, he was blowing up this Israelite thing. And, you know, a lot of jakes are talking about it and blowing this thing up even more. And that may be the excuse for these JEWs that control everything any doggone way to put a smash on the internet, which goes into Amos, the 8th chapter, that a famine is coming, but not just a famine of bread, but a famine of hearing the word. Most of the word that we was pushing, this truth, is from the internet, as Psalms 19 tells you that. All right. So, yeah, man. So that's it on that. So I think I've said what I had to say on this video. On to the next one. Shalom.